he's like, no, really. And I was just like, you're not going to be happy. It's listening, you're not going to be happy. No, I know she's in front of me. Our friend has a hard time seeing. I think he's got an option somehow to like rearrange his seating for the year and get us in that first row. So that's what he's trying to do.
She's got every player's signature on the back of her jersey.
Well, then she talks to those refs too, like she knows who they are. And I was just like,
Looking at
I know.
it's I was just
Somebody said she's legal counsel for Officer Bush. That's what it is.
she asked if I told her I told him she got 4 seats. And I never said a word to Nathan or Derek about it, but I was like, hey, she's got to do it in every possession. And then I like that. She gets it out. Backside out, backside out. But it's a fail. Yeah. We have to compare notes after on Monday.
Right.
Since we had a yeah. I'll take a picture of your huggy here in closed session and send it to John Haney and ask him why I don't have one of those.
Nobody ever get that. Nobody would ever get that. Oh, shoot.
I hereby call the professional development waiver hearing to order. Please stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Erica?
Here.
Andrew? Joe?
Yes.
Jane, yes. Jack?
Yes.
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Okay, before we start the regular meeting, we have a hearing for the professional development waiver for the next 5 years. I'm going to let Mrs. Baker summarize that.
Sure, so we are seeking a waiver from the Illinois State Board of Education for School Code 105 ILCS 510 through 19.05D, which would waive the requirement to have 9.5-day SIP, which is what we use for professional development, and change that to having 4 to 5 full-day SIP, so full professional development. It's just kind of changing the days from half days to full days. It's the same number. Some of the reasons we're seeking this are for our staff to have more training opportunities. It also provides increased instructional time for our students because there's less startup for the additional half days. We're also seeking this partially for our parents, because we realize that half days are inconveniencing them.
Okay. At this time, we will allow for any public comment. This is just a hearing. Later in the meeting, we will be voting on the adoption. Were we expecting any comment?
We've met with both unions. Both unions have been very supportive. We brought this to the attention of the board prior to today. Everybody seems to be very interested in it. Again, a lot of the rationale is we need to spend a little more time with some training, getting our kids in some better situations, or our staff in better situations to work with some of the things that are going on within the district. So this would be a great opportunity for us to be able to emphasize that in day-long activities instead of trying to rush into an afternoon training for 2.5 hours. And again, from a parental standpoint, nothing's worse than an interrupted day for a parent, in my opinion, and kids come through too. Trying to find sitters and things on those half day off. So this will let you prepare ahead of time and be a full day.
And just to be clear, those half days are required by the state. It's not anything that TN40 decided way back when they decided to do.
We're fortunate that Mrs. Baker, your classes ran across this. I've been in education a long time. I think this has been in play for a while. Never knew it existed. I think it comes at a really good time for us.
No action is taken during this portion of the meeting, but we will ask for the adoption of the professional development waiver later in the meeting. After hearing any comments on the waiver, I need a motion and a second to adjourn the professional development waiver hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Andrew,
Second.
second by Steve. Roll call?
Andrew,
Yes.
Jill,
Yes.
Jane, yes, Jen,
Yes.
Tisha,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Erica.
Yes.
And that is 6:03. Okay, at this time, I call to order the regular meeting. Roll call?
Jill,
Yes.
Jane, yes, Jen,
Yes.
Tisha, yes, Steve,
Yes.
Erica,
Yes.
Andrew. Yes.
At this time, we have a very special part of the meeting. We have a presentation by 4 of our own second graders in the district. With us this evening, we have Sophia Balda, Eris Poe, Brianna Tarrant, and Jace Went. If you wouldn't mind coming forward to the microphone, we'd love to hear your presentation.
So they're right.
Yeah,
And then-
thank you.
There go. Thanks.
Good evening, board members and administration. Thank you for allowing us to come and speak with you this evening. I am Eris Poe. And I am Brianna Tarrant. We are second grade students at Southside in Miss Russ's classroom. I am Sophia Balda. And I am Jasmine. We are second grade students at Southside in Miss Taylor's classroom. Tonight we would like to tell you about some fun things happening around Southside. On February 2nd, we hosted a family night where we ate spaghetti and played games, spent time together with our families. Another fun thing we celebrated was our 100th day of school. It was hilarious to see our classmates dressed up as old people. To celebrate our successful math test sessions, we had a winter theme fun day. We went to different stations, played games, and had a snack and made hard work. We have a few things coming up. the Southside Book Fair and the second grade field trip. My friends are going to give you the scoop on each of these events. On Friday, March 1st, the Southside PTO is sponsoring a book fair. The theme is summer fun in the community. We are going to have several community organizations like the police department and the park district and the library at the book fair with several summer fun raffle items.
Finally, we are excited to be planning our second grade field trip to the Terre Haute Children's Museum. We came along way for our fun day.
Again, thank you for allowing us to come speak with you tonight. Enjoy the rest of your meeting.
I'm sorry, but we're not quite done. Can you come back to You weren't expecting this part, were you? No. We start our public speaking skills very early at Unit 40. Great job, kiddos.
Great job.
So we have a few questions for you. You told us about some fun things that have already happened at Southside, right? And you told us about some things that are getting ready to happen at Southside. So tell us what was your favorite thing that's already happened.
The 100th day.
The 100 day, and that was why.
Yes, that's old people.
I bet there was some pretty good costumes there.
The day where we played bingo, because it was really fun to win and get prizes.
Wonderful. And so tell us what you're most looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to the field trip because I it's going to be really fun.
I bet it will be.
I'm looking forward to the book fair because they're going to have several fun raffle items.
Wonderful. And I'm sure Greg Sapp got all of these dates and times. If not, we'll make sure that we send him an email with all those dates and times. Thank you very much.
Okay, I want to get your picture. Do you want to put down this right here too? You guys want to, can you girls kind of like part a little bit and then go over there and do pictures? Say no. Are you all ready?
There. One hand in front of the face. That was great.
Thanks, y'all.
I have one more question. Sophia, I have one more question. So you represented Southside. Do you think that we should have the other buildings represented at our meetings?
Yes.
Should have their children come from their schools and talk about what goes on at their schools.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
I'm not sure that, I don't think I know all the parents extremely well, but I know a few of them. I think they're a little bit more vocal than the kids.
This one, yes.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Next on the agenda, we'd like to recognize our competitive cheer team at EHS. We have Mrs. Lisa Sig with us, the coach.
So we had lots of accomplishments this year, and I'm very proud of my whole team. We are the back-to-back state champions for ICCA Large Varsity Game Day, and hopefully we'll continue that the next several years too. Introduce everybody here. So I'll let them introduce themselves and tell you what grade they're in.
I am Gail Warner, and I have had the honor and privilege of being an assistant cheer coach for all these awesome girls this year.
My name is Rachel Martin, and my name is McKenna Duckworth, and I'm a senior. My name is Addison Holstein, I'm a senior. My name is Jesselyn Krill, and I'm a freshman. My name is Kylie Donaldson, and I'm a freshman. I'm Adam Goodright, and I'm a sophomore. I'm Shelby Goldman, and I'm a senior. I'm Riley Brown, and I'm a senior. I'm Macy Mifflin, and I'm a sophomore. I'm Lindsay Davis, and I'm also a sophomore. I'm Elizabeth Hertzl, I'm a sophomore. My name is Sarah Hertzl, and I'm a fifth junior. I'm Ella Tewin, and I'm a sophomore. I'm Ryan Levin, and I'm a freshman. I'm Cora Harden, and I'm a sophomore. I'm Lindsay Merriman, and I'm a junior.
So I just want to say, if you're not familiar with competitive cheer, it is long hours of practice on top of being at the boys basketball games to cheer also. So these girls put in many, many hours and lots of hard work. So I'm very proud of them for all their accomplishments this year.
Thank you. Great job, girls. And like always, we'll have you come around.
Just one sec, I did want to recognize McKenna. I think you did a fantastic job with the national anthem at the sectional game last week. Thank you for doing that.
Any of our seniors plan to cheer in college? Awesome. Right, great job, girls. And
So you
thank
come around
coaches and parents.
Yep.
Picture tag.
Shake hands.
Shake hands and then a picture.
Great job. Great job.
Congrats to you. Hey, Lindy, how are you? Good job.
Thanks, parents.
Thank you. All right, next on the agenda, we'd like to recognize the ILMEA All-State Ensemble. If we have Mr. Mason.
Yes, you guys want to come on up here. So back in October, we had a very rigorous audition process to be selected within our district festival, ILMEA's divided into 9 districts throughout the entire state of Illinois. We're District 5. These guys were all selected within that, and then their scores were high enough that they were selected to go to the state level where they performed in Peoria in January. So we had 3 students from our band at high school. We had Sydney Nelson, Abigail Heischmidt, and Chloe Blackwell. Abby played in the All-State Orchestra. Chloe and Sydney played in the All-State Band. And then we have a couple of our choir students here as well.
Gabby, I went to Honors All State.
My name is Evie Ballard, and I was in Honors All-State Choir.
And we're just missing Chris Hooper tonight. But it's they were selected, performed amongst like 600 of the top students in the state of Illinois. So it's a pretty good honor. Yeah, we're very, very proud of it.
Congratulations. Keep up the good work. Anybody seniors? Oh, plans to continue your musical career?
Unfortunately, no, I'm gonna go pre-med.
That will keep you busy. Yeah. Thank you so much for participating in our band and music programs. We appreciate you. If you want to come around and accept our congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Great job.
Thank you. Great job.
Congratulations.
And then I'll get your picture too, real quick. If you want to just go against the wall, since you're not a big group, that'd be perfect.
Evie should be in the middle of the circle.
There you go. Perfect.
All right, ready? Okay, I'm not very confused.
All right.
I need to get yours.
I had to get that overhead light. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mason. And
Good job, guys.
At this time, I'd like to recognize any visitors that would like to address the board. There being none. Oh.
Do you want me to use the microphone?
Please. Yes.
Cover your ears. I'm always afraid of these things because I speak so loudly. My name is it working?
Well, it's just a record for the.
Oh, okay.
For the live
I was
stream.
afraid it was gonna amplify my voice.
It's just so they can hear you out in the internet.
Okay, you think I'd be more technology literate? My name's Cheryl Walker. I am a member of the Effingham Educational Support Professionals Association. Previously, we were talking about the training we do, wholeheartedly support that. We talked to Mrs. Baker and Mr. Johnson about how we would like training for, that's in our category. And then the second thing that I've been tasked with doing, they sent me here tonight. I have some people that are rather anxious about the outcome of the Senate Bill 2017. And so I'm hoping that we can get that resolved fairly quickly because I'm really probably wasting a lot of time not working and having people come to my desk and asking me questions. And we're right in the middle of Foreign Language Week, and I'd rather be cutting out Barbie shoes on the cricket so kids can make name tags. Yeah, I don't know. They chose Barbie as their thing. So I'm cutting out sunglasses, Barbie shoes, and bellies. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. You gotta come with
Just for the record, the group has been addressed, that we would be back with them later this week about some of those 2017, still with the paid holidays. that came into action January 1st of this year, and nobody knew it was coming. So it's put us in a pretty precarious position, and we are doing our homework on that. It's interesting that it was brought here tonight. However, that's how people operate, and that's how people operate. But we are on top of it, and we are working on that situation.
I mean, the state of Illinois didn't give us a heads up. I'm sure.
No,
Interesting. Okay.
it's a rather expensive endeavor.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure. This is why I am on the school board.
So we'll keep you in the loop on that as we move forward.
Okay, we'll move along to the financial report from Mrs. Baker.
Okay, so looking at the fund balances, we are showing a 5.58% increase over last year with a net fund balance of $30,400,150.21. In the operating funds, a 7.16% increase over last year with a net total of $26,861,031.09. For revenues in the ed fund, local, $505,089.56. State revenue, $663,237.73. Federal revenue, $1,988,369.30. Expenses over $5,000 are broke out in your packet. Recommendation is to reimburse the impressed account in the amount of $1,755.83 and the payment of bills in the amount of $1,952,202.42. Sorry, I'm battling a cold.
Does anyone have any questions regarding the financial report? There being none, I'm looking for a motion and a second to approve the financial report to reimburse the impressed account in the amount of $1,755.83 and the payment of bills in the amount of $1,952,202.42.
Motion.
Motion by Steve,
Second.
second by Erica, roll call.
Jean, yes. Jen?
Yes.
Bishop?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Erica?
Yes.
Andrew?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, next on the agenda is the consent agenda. You'll have minutes from the special meeting, the regular board minutes, transportation meeting minutes, committee, tech committee meeting minutes, and another special meeting closed session minutes. You'll also find the cafeteria report, fundraisers. The EHS Girls Track is going to would like to conduct a clinic as a fundraiser from March 27th through the 29th. And then we also have field trips. The junior high would like to have the reward trip to Busch Stadium on April 24th. And that is your consent agenda. Are there any questions? Okay, I'm looking for a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Motion.
Motion by Chad,
Second.
second by Andrew, roll call.
Jen?
Yes.
Bishop?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Erica?
Yes.
Andrew?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Jane, yes.
Next on the agenda is correspondence, and there is none. So we'll move to the superintendent's report.
So Unit 40 foundation reports included in your packets. Any questions on that? Hopefully there's anything that stands out. For the majority of it's pretty standard annual movements on their part, with scholarships, fundraisers, things of that nature. Next one is the enrollment. Enrollment at this point right now, and again, this is as of the end of January, total enrollment is 2,298 students. 6 less students than the previous month and 18 less students than the previous year. Next one is a four-year report. It is a pretty much a standard four-year report or request. It goes to everybody. Illinois Retired Teachers Association, Smart Procure, PO vendor information. And receive those with the previous district, and I think that's pretty standard every year. And then the last item that I have under that for tonight is we are having the second county school board meeting comprised of all 5 county schools. That will be held right here at Effingham Board Office on March 4th. So a week from tonight at 6 p.m. We would love to have 2 board members to represent us that night.
Yep.
I think last time it was.
It was
2
me, but I'm going to be out of town, so
Okay.
somebody.
I'll be there. I couldn't make last time, so I can make this time.
We can have 2, so if there's
Anybody
2.
else? 6 o'clock Monday is what it would be here. It's about 2 hours. About what we went last time, Greg?
Yes, sir.
It was a good meeting.
Don't have to have 2, but if we could, that would be great.
I might be able to make it. I'll get in touch with Chad.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is new business. First is the approval to seek price quotes for lease to purchase on 9 new school buses.
But not a lot to be said there, other than the fact that it's going to be roughly 18 to 24 months before we give. So once we would make that move, we need to be reminded down the road we will. When we make the budget for next year, the bus transportation purchases for next year might very well be this year's buses, depending on when they show up. This won't really hit the budget until probably 2 years from now. We are supposedly receiving what we've been told, 8 to 9 buses this summer in June. But really, it's gotten us a lot out of whack in the rotation that we try to keep here, just because of the backup and how long it takes to get the product now. So we need to make this move so that we try to stay on rotation to some degree for 2 years from now.
So this is just a motion and a second to approve the district transportation director to seek price quotes for lease to purchase of 9 new school buses. Does anyone want to make that motion?
Motion.
Motion by Steve.
Second.
Second by Andrew. Roll call.
Desha?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Erica?
Yes.
Andrew?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Jane, yes, Jen?
Yes.
Okay, next on the agenda is the actual professional development waiver. So we're seeking a waiver for school code 105 ILCS 5/10-19.05D. Does anyone have any questions about that? Okay. I'm looking for a motion and a second to approve the waiver of school code 105 ILCS 5/10-19.5D.
Motion.
Motion by Andrew.
Second?
Second by Erica. Roll call.
Steve?
Yes.
Erica?
Yes.
Andrew?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Jane, yes, Jen?
Yes.
Desha?
Yes.
Okay, the next item on new business is to amend the school calendar because we used emergency day. Probably, there's no questions about this, yeah.
Basically,
We're
we
extending.
fill them in every year, so we get down to now we only have 4 emergency days left. Just move on to the extra. Unfortunately, it forces us into the next week at the end of May. I think it's the 20th or whatever, it's a Monday, which we would come back with teachers that day, but kids would not, provided we don't have any more, anything happen between now and the end of school where we would change it.
Any questions? Okay, I'm looking for a motion, a second, to amend the 2023-24 school calendar to reflect the use of an emergency day on January 23rd, 2024.
Motion.
Motion by Steve.
Second.
Second by Desha. Roll call.
Erica?
Yes.
Andrew?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Jane, yes, Jen?
Yes.
Desha? Yes. Steve?
Yes.
Please know that dealing with the calendars, we will bring you the next year's calendar and the plan to the March board meeting. You also need to remember that this waiver could take up to 60 days for us to get approval to utilize that. So I will ask you for a tentative calendar approval at the March board meeting that will have 5 full now 9 full PD days in it, to where right now you only have 4. So we will take all the half days out. We will put the 5 that we just approved here in. We didn't do that until you just made this action. So I will start that process this week as to where those will go. Also, please understand that I work extensively with both unions on what calendar I bring to you for your recommendation, and our school, our administration. So the administration, the 2 unions, and us basically bring to you, and we will for the next board meeting. But at that board meeting, we will likely not have approval back from the state board on whether those waiver dates are approved or not. So we need to almost have a secondary plan in place in case we get down the road. Just giving you a little heads up as we move into the next week. Okay?
Any other business to come before the board? Okay, at this time, I'm looking for a motion and a second to enter into closed session for student discipline, for the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the district, and for legal matters. Motion by Andrew. Second by Desha, roll call.
Erica,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Jill,
Yes.
Jamie, yes, Chad,
Yes.
Session,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Any other students need signatures for your class? Oh, we didn't have you introduce yourselves. I usually have our students attendees. Okay, student attendees, could you please introduce yourself and let us know what class you're in?
I just went, but I'm writing down.
I'm Deacon Daigle, I'm a senior.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one.
Thanks for coming. We appreciate
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
My name's Deacon Dog, and I'm here for my government class. Awesome. I'm Amanda, I'm here for government class.
Awesome.
I'm Alexa.
Hope you learned something. This might be one of the fastest meetings we've ever had.
Don't get used to this.
This is easy.
Tell teachers they need to come to the February board meeting.
Thank you. Bye. Have a good night.